Hello.
Hello. Oh, sorry.
I have no idea who is saying hello, but today we'll be playing Crystal.
Okay then.
Since I like math. I mean, what? I've never had any of those. I didn't say anything. Are you?
Yeah. I didn't say anything either.
Yeah, so apparently our dear friend Adam has been watching our videos while in Paris.
Wait, he has?
Yes.
Was that him or has that been my brother?
That's him. He's been watching our videos in Paris, I believe.
Has he been disliking the Halo videos?
Not even yet.
Well, sadly we haven't threatened him yet, so we gotta make sure we don't pull through with our threat until he hears our threat.
Yeah.
So,
He's probably.
I don't know, we could disable ratings on the other Halo videos until he hears it. Just to make certain.
We could have them pop up every day. Every day. You know, one Halo video a day.
Good work. So,
except I'm not a big fan. I actually find it quite boring.
well, yeah, I mean, and if he dislikes it, then we get to play more interesting games like Half-Life.
Yeah, where we get to have in-depth discussions about the character motivations. Because that's something which is not really touched upon. And it could be really fun.
Yeah.
Like, why does Barney so desperately want to help you? I get it that you guys were childhood friends, but I mean, it's like 40 years after that.
I gotta finish Half-Life 2, and yeah, we might have some Unreal videos maybe, because those are annoying Adam still. So we could have that too.
And Unreal's a fantastic game.
Unreal's really good, yeah, I like it.
We could also have some Amnesia videos, a game which I have never played, and it is terrifying.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Just me screaming out.
So, but by the way, today I have another story. This is for everybody who knows how to build computers and such.
I have a story too. Maybe can I share my story?
Go ahead.
So, once upon a time, once upon a time I decided to go out to the. This is a very embarrassing story of mine. So once upon a time I was very young and very stupid. Ha ha ha. Laugh all you want at.
Weren't we all?
Yeah. And so I accidentally jumped into a stranger's car when I was like 6, 8, 5, you know? Really young. Didn't know better. Thinking that it was my parent. When I was in the car, only then did I realize this is not my parent. So I went out, I apologized profusely, and then I escaped. I mean, that's kind of funny.
We all have stories like that.
Isn't that?
And I like to tell them, as long as I'm not in them. I like to tell other people's embarrassing stories.
No, you say one of yours.
Well, no, I wanted to do the computer story.
No.
We gotta do that because this is a great segue into into more of everybody's favorite comedy routine.
No.
You be a dummy.
It's not so much a comedy routine as it is just us yelling at stupid people.
My comedy routine, it's called Don't Be a Dummy, and I'm going to make it big, like you're gonna hear me on.
I thought it was Don't Be an Atom.
What's the channel? What's that radio channel that does all those? Oh well. Anyways, so this requires a bit of setup. So I was talking to the Gungeon here about computers and such, and he asked me about whether a 1080 is a good card for a system. And I said, I don't know, what's your processor? And he looks it up, says 4770K. And keep in mind he has a GT650 as his graphics card. I'm like, jeez, 4770K!
Overkill?
That's like a $350 processor. You need a you can totally run a 1080 on that. And then I realized now my setup, my main computer is an i5 4590 with a GTX 970. And I said, now for the GTX 650, it needs a better match. It needs like an i5 or so. So I said, well, you don't want to bottleneck the i7 and such. You want all the power that your system can do. So how about I trade you the i7 4770K, take it off your hands, for my i5 4590. How's that sound? And he says, no.
I'm no
If
dummy.
he accepted that trade, then he'd be a dummy.
Are you-
Accept the trade. Don't be a dummy.
Do you think Adam would have accepted that trade?
I don't know. Of course, not everybody knows the difference between a 4770K and a 4590, and the 4770K is a heck of a lot better, by the way. If you don't know, and 70 is better than a 650. But don't think that the higher number is always better, because if you decide to upgrade your GTX 580 and decide instead you're going to get a GTX or a GT 630, then you'll be a dummy and you just wasted a lot of money. Because that's better, that's worse.
Just why is the 470K better?
The 4770K has hyperthreading, which allows it to have 8 logical cores rather than 4, which the 4590 has.
Speak English, please.
The 4770K can overclock, whereas the 4590 cannot.
Is
The
it
K
over?
stands for overclock.
Then wouldn't it be an O? Or a C? Overclock?
I don't really understand it either. Also, X also stands for overclock.
Why do you want to have... Hey, my processor's triple X.
Well, I don't think so. But we got just so many of these don't be a dummies. Like, let's talk about graphics cards, for example. Like, if you try to yank out a graphics card without pushing the graphics card release button, don't do that, dummy. You'll break your motherboard. The graphics release button is for releasing graphics cards.
What if we just...
So in order to get a graphics card, you gotta push the button.
What if I really didn't like my motherboard and I just wanted to break it?
Then there's a lot better ways to do that. And make sure you remove the graphics card so you don't break that too. And give it to me, of course, because nobody wants the 650, right?
What, do you not have...
I'll trade you a your GTX 650 for my GT 430, yeah.
No.
Okay, yeah, you're not a dummy, so you won't do that. And also, you'd also be a dummy if you get a 300 watt power supply if you're running 4 Titan X's in SLI. Then you're a dummy.
Well,
because that won't work.
not everybody speaks computer.
Well, for the people that can, then they don't be a dummy. And for
I
the
don't
people that
think
can't,
there are...
then they don't be a dummy either because
I
they
think
listen.
only your brother speaks computer.
Hopefully you'll watch this video and be able to understand what I mean. Don't be a dummy. Listen to me.
What if I like being stupid? It's not your problem to question my life choices.
Let's just talk about some things that you probably can understand in a gaming rig. If you're doing a gaming rig and you spend more on your sound card than your graphics card, then you're a dummy.
Well, you could
Unless
want
you
better
really,
sound.
really lots hi-fi sound or so, but still,
I would
think
do that.
You're just an ordinary person, and you don't really care as much about sound. You don't need an expensive sound card. Integrated sound is perfectly fine. Don't be a dummy.
I would do
Just an
that.
expensive sound card.
Are you calling me a dummy? Because I would do that?
Do you have a sound card?
I don't, do I? No.
Didn't think so.
That's
So,
why
yeah.
I have external speaker.
Well, like, there's so much stuff to it. Like, some of this stuff isn't even common sense, like a graphics card. Like, if you buy a Titan X or 980 Ti, only run it in 1080p, then you're a dummy and you're wasting your money. Those cards are for 4K and 2K resolutions.
Well,
Well, I
what if,
suppose, but still, if you're running 1080p, get a 970. They're cheaper.
what if I don't like 1080p?
Then get a Titan X and a 4K monitor.
What if I don't like that either? What if I just like what I like? Are you
What
questioning my
resolution
life
do you
choices?
like? Because choose a resolution you like, or else you'll get the wrong graphics card and you'll be a dummy.
My favorite resolution is 780p. 780p.
780p.
It's a good resolution.
Alright then you need a GTX 780 Ti.
No, I don't. Getting it works perfect.
No, again, that's another bad rule. Don't get a 780 Ti if you like 780p. I think the card that would suit you would be a 950.
My card works perfectly for 780p.
Don't try to run your computer without your heatsink. Then you'll be a dummy and you'll cook it.
I've always wanted to taste finely cooked computer.
Finally cooked computer processor.
Have
At
you
least
ever?
before you do that, how about if you don't want the i7 4770K, you want to cook it, then give it to me and I'll do it for you.
Sure you will.
Yeah. Anyways,
You really want my
Yeah.
processor, don't you?
we could have plenty of other don't be a dummies. It doesn't even have to be with computers and such. Like, say for example, if you're writing a resume and it has a email address spot, then don't put your if your personal email address isn't professional, don't put it on there. If you have like Katie likes turtles at AOL.com on your resume, then you're a dummy.
Who
and you
uses
won't get a
AOL?
job. Exactly, that's cherry on top.
I mean,
AOL.
I would use AOL. Wouldn't you?
No, you wouldn't.
Why not?
Well, at least if you have the email address that's AOL, don't put it on your resume, dummy.
Why
Unless,
What if
unless the person who's interviewing you is 80 years old, then maybe.
well, you mean 40.
80.
40.
40-year-olds know that AOL is, how to hear, is too old.
I don't
I think if you, maybe once you get to 60, then you accept AOL. I don't know, really.
Hey, you know what? Did you know that, you know the guy who directed the new Star Wars film? What's his name? J.J. Abrams? He uses AOL,
Doesn't surprise me.
and he's what, like 20? 30?
I mean, I don't know, maybe he's just out of touch.
But he's like 20.
Sometimes, like, I see like a ton of, sometimes with like, I need to collect email addresses and such, and I see a lot of Cox.net ones. Cox? What? I understand why Cox is like so popular, but
Well, you see, it's
just if you're going to get a professional email address, just use Gmail.
well, you see, it's
You
for
dummy.
the homosexual desire. COCKS.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to spell it.
Or
Call
Seco.
up your number when you want internet. Anyways,
No, I mean,
what
don't
other
be a
stuff?
dummy.
Resumes. Like
Don't-
with your resumes. Like,
Okay, don't be a dummy. And, buy a Sega Genesis that doesn't work.
well, yeah, make sure it works at first. And like if they say like, oh, it doesn't include the power cable. I don't know if it works. Then
be a
there's a
dummy.
good chance it doesn't work.
Sledgehammer. Also, don't be a dummy. And, buy anything broken.
Yeah, don't buy broken things.
But if it ain't broke, then don't fix it.
Maybe.
Oh yeah,
It's like what other? Like there's just so many of these jokes that we can make. We could be here all day and night making "don't be a dummy" jokes. Like, let's see.
don't be a dummy and actually listen to Adam.
What about resumes? Like, there can be so many things you can get wrong on resumes. Don't print out your resume on blue paper or any other color other than white.
Why
you
not?
dummy.
I mean,
Because
it's
if you
perfect.
print out your resume on pink paper, you won't get hired.
Nobody in Oregon would mind.
if you print out the resume with polka dots along the edges, then you're a dummy. and you
Nobody
don't
in
get
Oregon
hired.
would mind. No, seriously.
Like,
If you did that in Oregon, you're probably more likely to get the job.
if you make a resume and you're deciding what font to use, don't use Comic Sans.
You kidding?
Then
That's
you're
all I
dumb.
use.
What don't use
Don't use
take the whole
use type.
Undertale reference in. Don't use Papyrus font.
Papyrus is such a nice font, though. That was.
Yeah, there's, but not for resumes.
You do realize that was a joke. I hate Papyrus, the font.
Oh, that's too bad. So, what else is there? Don't include a mixtape with your resume.
I would. You know I would.
Like, hey, these are some cool tunes, boss.
You definitely know I
The
would
boss,
do that.
the boss will just throw it back in your face and say, "You're a dummy. You don't get hired."
Oh yeah, don't, when you're registering for a job or resume, whatever you do, do not give your boss a cassette tape.
That is to me to show that you're out of touch.
Just don't do that.
Um,
Just don't.
what other ones are there? Like,
Don't be a dummy and buy a... Don't be a dummy. Period.
like what other things? Resumes. That's a good topic, I think, because there are so many things you mess up.
Don't be a dummy and fail.
Don't misspell words on your resume. Hey, boss man, this is me resume. I'm so great, such a Gates.
Let's see.
That doesn't look very good. And you're a dummy.
Actually, people love it.
What do you think? Don't bribe your boss
With
in
sex.
your resume.
Don't offer your boss free sex.
Maybe it might. I
Don't
don't know.
be
Kind of think more definitely.
don't be a dick.
Don't show up to your interview in like a t-shirt and shorts.
Well, it depends on what interview.
Especially not a tank top.
Depends on what you're interviewing for.
What sort of job do you think would that be good for?
You know,
Like, dress appropriately for your job, I know, but I don't think your job would be appreciative if you come in with it wearing a tank top for your interview.
McDonald's.
No, they actually do pride themselves on cleanliness.
That's a joke, right?
Well, it's not exactly a place you want to work. Anyways, that's the place where you work if you failed all the other jobs because you're a dummy and you messed up all these
Or
things.
you're trying to pay off your student loans.
Yeah, don't...
Don't be a dummy and pay off your student loans.
as soon as possible, please. You gotta be realistic on things. But, yeah, let's see, what else?
Don't be a dummy and exist. Don't be a dummy.
Under your skills section on a resume, don't put checkers. That won't work, dummy.
I would do that. Are you talking from
I'll
experience?
totally smoke you at checkers. Yeah, great. How does that help you as an electrical engineer?
We like to
Don't
play
do
checkers.
that, dummy.
I mean, have you done this before?
What?
You know, done any of those?
I don't know. I mean, I've made my plenty of dummy decisions, but yeah. But some of these are just common sense. Like under awards, don't put, I don't got no awards, boss.
That's just common sense.
Even if you don't have any awards, you gotta reach far back and try to find something. Like, I don't know.
I got a participation award once.
Participation. At least that's something. Don't put, I don't got no awards. Or at least, if you don't got no awards, and you seriously cannot find any, don't put awards, I don't got none, on your resume. Just leave awards off your resume.
Awards.
If you don't know any language, like, mean, it's just common sense and such.
If you don't know any languages, claim that you know them all.
Don't know any languages, you can't write a resume because you don't know English, dummy.
No. If you don't know any languages, claim you know them all. Here's the reason why. Because then you'll be a dummy.
You'll be a dummy, and that's not good.
Let's see.
It ain't
you
good
don't-
being a dummy.
If you don't like, subscribe to our channel, then you
Then
are a
you're
dummy.
Dummy.
Sorry, we don't mean to insult you. We mean to insult you.
We're so sucre for that.
Shut up.
So, there are 7 people that are subscribed to our channel. Or
8.
7 subscribers at least. 8 now. So, those are the only people in the world that are not dumbass.
Yeah, take that, all 7 points.
7 billion people. All dumbass.
Yeah, we
So
have
don't be a
intelligent.
dummy and subscribe, and then you won't be a dummy anymore. What other ones are there? Oh, I could keep milking this resume thing, but I think I should give it a rest. Let's do some winter ones, how about? Even though it's in the middle of summer. Don't try to shovel out your driveway with a hose. That don't work, dummy.
Well, yes it does.
It'll make your driveway all slippery and turn it
What?
fall down. Your car will fall off.
What do you do? Do you like live in Colorado or something?
I live in Colorado for the winter sometimes, so I know this sort of thing. If you have a snowblower, don't aim it at your boss, at your wife, at your
Aim it at
basically anybody that could get angry at you. Don't aim it at them, dummy. Yeah, it'll work, dummy.
everybody can technically get angry at you.
Oh yeah, then don't aim your snowblower at them, because it blows snow in their face and you get angry at you. Don't try to swim in your pool during the winter, dummy.
It works.
If you're rock solid, if you do break through, and it's even colder down below.
Are you talking from experience again?
No, thankfully not.
You sure?
If you're on a frozen lake and you hear cracking, get off that lake, dummy.
So, we're at our first loop of the season. Second episode, Crystal Loop. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. I could keep going all day with this.
You wanna continue milking it?
What are the winter ones are there? Like that or something?
Don't
like,
be stupid and not wear any clothing during the winter.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. That don't work, dummy.
Oh, I did it once. Well, then again, California.
Well, yeah, if you're in California, all this doesn't matter. But if you're in winter in California, yeah.
If you live in California and it's winter, or
So
at
I
least
guess you
southern,
can be a dummy because you don't have a snowblower.
or at least if in Southern California,
yeah,
you can be as stupid as you want. You can be as naked as you want when you go to bed. You could drown yourself in water before you go to bed.
And thankfully, you won't freeze to death.
Yes.
Like you do here in Colorado, which thankfully means that natural selection takes over here and gets rid of all the dumbass.
So should I get plus 6 HP or should I move while shielded? I like the moving while shielded, but also the 6 HP is useful.
Either way.
Don't worry. This episode is not even...
What, sorry?
This episode's not even close to being done.
The more don't be a dummies. That's what we're gonna call this episode. Like, don't be a dummy part 3.
Oh god. So I'm really sure...
I gotta find more comedy videos though. I got some good jokes. What?
So let's see. You're gonna have to be the commentator for right now. I'm a bit scary.
Alright.
Really scared.
So, you know how one time I said to Adam, you know my greatest heist was one time I stole every single blue stoplight in town. And he says, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. There aren't any blue stoplights. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. I did a good job doing that.
So, you know, there's a thing which I like to, make a joke of about this game, is, safe spawns. Because there is no such thing as safe spawns in this game.
You think you can save in a roguelike, then you're a dummy, and you just be booted back to the beginning. Sort of you can save in a sort of progressive ones, like Rogue Legacy or stuff.
Or, like, Undertale.
That's not really a roguelike.
Well... Oh yeah, don't be a dummy and play roguelike.
Yeah.
That you have never heard of before.
Experiment.
No, that's what dummies do.
Well, also dummies play it safe too. Some types of dummies, they experiment too much, and like if they use a ladder to climb to the top of a telephone pole during a lightning storm.
I would do that. No, I wouldn't.
If you climb to the top of a telephone pole during a lightning storm, then you're a dummy and you get zapped.
What if I just want to die? I mean, seriously.
Then you're a dummy.
No, because then I could just have suicidal thoughts. Does that make me a dummy?
I don't know. I'm not going to go into that.
Are you? You know what? You're sounding like a Christian now.
Complicated situation, but
Stop sounding like a Christian.
If you climb up, yeah, basically, if you climb up in any high place during a lightning storm, then you're a dummy. If
you're in an airplane during a lightning storm, you're a dummy.
And the pilot's a dummy for not getting you out of there.
But I mean, can the pilot really stop mid-flight?
If you try to jump out of a plane in mid-flight, then you're a dummy.
Well,
But technically, that's not that great of a joke because nobody will ever do that.
Well, what if the plane's going to fall? Falling.
Well, then you're a bit less of a dummy. As long as it's over water, though. Make sure it's over water.
No, because you could also have a parachute.
Parachute's pretty good, but then the plane might fall on you.
Well, I mean... Just... Oh yes. If you don't like this video, you're a dummy.
Dislike this video, you're a dummy.
If you don't love us, you're a dummy.
Don't do that, dummy.
Well, yeah. One thing which I don't think anybody really knows about. If you dislike videos, it still promotes our channel. So I mean, dislike us all you want, please. I
Exactly.
thrive to be hated. I thrive on hatred. You could call me the devil. No, you couldn't. You could call Mr. Adam the devil.
I saw a great short video about
Dummies.
about these people who get a choice once they enter hell, or they get the choice between either a trillion years in heaven, and then you go to hell, or a wooden spoon, but the wooden spoon lasts forever.
I'd go for the wooden spoon. Wouldn't you?
I don't know, really. I mean, as long as the wooden spoon doesn't degrade.
It
Anyway,
lasts
if
forever.
you end up in the wrong place at the wrong time and end up in that sort of situation, then you're a dummy anyways.
So I think it's the end of this episode because I've died around 4 times. Join us for the next episode where we play.
For more... Wait, what?
Or we're gonna play as Eyes.
Yeah, and you'll see more. Oh, don't be a dummies.
So bye bye.
Goodbye.